That's usually how the games go and the tournaments with Shelty. It's gonna be random all around. Really, another Marsh, Hades and Oranos, no? I guess it's somewhat okay. Nobody's gonna be really benefiting from that. Obviously, nothing else is gonna be from Momo. They are playing main gods, so therefore they don't have to be really switching over, as we have seen, for example, in some previous tournaments, where it was a bit of a challenge. For example, in the Mega Random, right, for Momo, who finished, he finished third, right, in Mega Random. He was kind of looking like maybe set up even for the finals, but yeah, well, the fact that he could be playing only 3 Greeks definitely was a bit of a problem for him in the end. But this time we're gonna be getting quite a bit of a different combination of civilizations, and well, let's therefore enjoy something curious as opposed to right now the Norse that we have had all the time. But the Norse are usually kind of packed with action, so fun to watch. So you can kind of find some fun in everything, besides probably Egyptian mirrors or something like a Ra mirror, where you just don't have anything interesting in the first 10 minutes, and then usually the action begins. So build of Argos for unit LOS, really nice. Not for the Hades, but the Oranos is gonna be happy for that, I guess. Obviously going quite a bit forward. I mean, like, this is somewhat logical. First, he doesn't see any kind of closer hunt. That's the first part. But second, because he actually wants to be going for the furthest one first, so that he can then keep this one in the base, which is actually fairly nicely tied to what we very often mention with Great Hunt for Odin, that people usually cast it on the starting hunt and then they gonna stay on it. Instead of going out of base and then having basically like an open fridge in their base with the remaining hunt, then they're gonna be eating it and effectively completely nullifying the god power that they have gotten. So that's a huge shame and huge waste of resources and kind of like potential in the gameplay. Very nice system of bust. Next relic is gonna be Fetters, and it's kind of curious here, especially for the Atlantean. It's kind of nice for this map with plenty of hunt that wants to be fighting back. But for the Greek, you will have to be careful to know where exactly the piggies are, so that you don't kill them like here, 2 million kilometers away from your granary. That to be certainly needed. As you can see here on the left side, therefore we do have large gold mine. Somewhat okay, that's a decent position. Probably even blocked by the wood line, I guess. And then you do have also the TC that's going to be protecting it from the right side. Not too shabby. That's a decent gold. I do wonder what's going to be the gameplay for Momo. For as far as I remember, he's kind of like quite a bit of a proponent of the 2 TC starts. But against the Oranos here, no. Might be a bit of a challenge, let's put it that way. As of course he's gonna be trying to be all over the place. And also the map is somewhat wide open. You can straight bath now, not too many actually pawns in the middle. So therefore free reign and free engine right now available for Grassengroom. So this might be a problem with another right now gold mine to the right, which theoretically can be a bit walled off here through right flank, but nonetheless I don't think that Momo is so far knowing where it exactly is. He should be at least having some kind of solid idea that it is in such a direction. Because obviously if he sees the one on the left, then he needs to be realizing what kind of map we are playing, and therefore there should be something more that is going to be available to him. Same as apparently some hippos are also going to be near him. And this is going to be the last relic for Boots of Kick Everything. And 10% hero movement speed increase again, which at this point is not going to be really that influential. Won't be having that many heroes here, and maybe just at the start, Grassengroom's Valor'd heroes are gonna be there for maybe a bit more efficient and effective in their fighting and raiding rather. So Athena coming at 455, quite a bit late. Seems to me that's gonna be there for setup for the second TC. That's gonna be most probably right about now what's gonna come. Yeah, well, not much more actually to be done here against the Oracle. I mean, like, at this point he just obviously doesn't need him for any kind of valor, but it's still gonna be nice to have him alive, just to be able to somewhat check out what's going on with the hippos and everything else. As you can see, the bat now there for the Prometheus coming forward already. No, and going forward, it's going to be the bat now there for the Belt of Argus. At this point still available, and really thinking one of the more important ones to be picked up by at least one of the players. Okay, that's gonna be the Athena already up. So in the end, no, I was going to say that maybe he was actually wanting to get a Valor. Well, that's only one hero, so it's not gonna be anything too relevant and important. The town center is gonna be the front one. Well, that's definitely quite a bit risky, but he probably won't be there in time to actually block it. You can see some few units here. He wants to be, of course, keeping the Valor so that he can be getting one of the citizens also upgraded. There we go. There we go, therefore with that, no, and all the way here to the top side, this is going to be needing a bit more villages just to be able to finish. Army coming forward. I'm thinking it should be fine with the heroes. So at this point you can see Grassengroom is not even attempting to block the TC, just kinda using the opportunity to be getting the damage into especially the Minotaur. With a few more sentinels coming forward, he obviously doesn't need that much protection in his base. Now he's already gonna be right now prepared with just kinda like complete blockage, but unfortunately, yep, right now needs to be making the gate to get actually the second water buffalo in there. But with the army coming up, no, we won't be really having that much of a great opportunity on blocking the enemy economy. You can see quite a bit easy hippos. Again, quite an easy gold, and I really do wait if this is gonna be fully blocked or not. Because if it is fully blocked, then it's superb map. But frankly, even if it isn't, just kind of like drop in a short wall in there. Shouldn't be any kind of real complication or anything really hard to deal with. I think it had to be quite a bit fine. And alrighty, whereas well, all the way here in the base, we have apparently some spez in unit. And much more importantly, yeah, just kind of trying to solve the problem because the towers will be coming up. But this one is most probably gonna be therefore getting destroyed. Now finally realizing he's not gonna be able to really get there in the end. But with the tower gone, that's gonna be a bit of an opening on the gold mine. But again, as you mentioned earlier, the excellent one on the left is gonna be fixing all kinds of issues. So as long as Momo was able to right now secure the town center, everything is gonna be quite a bit peachy and nice for him. Really superb. So, and right now confirmation that it's fully blocked. It couldn't have been getting any better. This is an excellent map for Momo. And really, I'm thinking that Grassengroom, second TC is absolutely correct decision here. He needs to be at this point trying to get into Heroic, and he's gonna be needing some destroyers as soon as possible. Because at this point in the classical age, he really won't be able to do anything too major and serious in any kind of way. 12 citizens, that means 24 and 6 so like 30. You can see Momo obviously with the second TC already getting a bit ahead economically. Otherwise Veligeros nothing on them besides System of Bust for making them cheaper. That's also of course quite a bit of a help as you are getting effectively on, no well, on 50 villages you're gonna be getting 5 of course for free, which maybe can be seeming small, but it is actually a fairly nice bonus. Something like the Hindustanis have in Age of Empires 2. They have 10% bonus in, I think that's the one for the Dark Age, the first one. Then it's escalating into 15, 20, 25. Or maybe it's starting at 5. I think it's starting at 10. And it already is something that's making them, of course, some of the best boomers in the game. And it really does help. Because it's just like makes your gameplay more and more efficient, even from the very early stages. Every few resources actually do matter here and there. So, consider now so far hoplites and cavalry. Not gonna be even bothering with archers, even as a Hades. Not interested in that. I mean, like, cavalry is really great against Atlantean in general. Hoplites are gonna be slightly able to counter the Murmelos and have bonus against Turmas. Not like a huge one, but it's there. So I can definitely understand that. He's also very high on food here. On Marsh, so why not? Vehinot? No, and husbandry. Okay, did he have that many goats? Or sheep? Or piggies, rather? Yes, he does. Not a bad amount. On the other side, you can see husbandry for Grassengroom also making somewhat of a decent sense, considering how many we have, with economical upgrades only Hendaks so far. No, and on, in general, Boots of Kicker within System of Bust right now retaken. So of course, the temple. Destruction definitely sucked. But looking at the Heroic Age, it's not looking like it's gonna be on the menu for either of the players just yet. But, for example, the 30C already right now is quite heavily and happily prepared here for Grassengroom. Decent gold mine, by the way. He needs to be just wall in here. Otherwise, to the right, that's gonna be a bit of a classic fork, so therefore no connection. And that's meaning 3 gold mines, by the way. This could theoretically be quite a bit of a late game fight. After some shorter ones that we have had in the first one, this is definitely set up to be maybe a bit more of an even Titan fight, possibly. I can definitely see that happening. 1-2 gold mine save here for Momo. Yes, or right now trying to wall off this part of the map. And maybe like a secondary, tertiary wall would be quite a bit prudent in this position with also 30C. If you look at the minimap being currently under construction for Mr. Mobinho from Egypt, but playing Greece. Medium infantry, okay. Does he have some special up? No, not yet. Doesn't have the favor for it so far, but the heroic cage is coming for him even faster than for Grassengroom. Really, this couldn't have spawned any better really for Momo. This whole left part is absolutely God's given. Seems like he was a nice boy this year. So he's gonna be rewarded for that. But yeah, well, it's only first game of the best of 3, so maybe it's gonna be getting a lot worse somewhere else. But I mean, like with the Greeks, he usually doesn't suffer too badly from maps that would be nice for the Atlantean. I mean, like something like Alfheim, Oasis are still pretty solid maps for him with Hades. So I really don't think that's too much of a serious thing to be worried about, where the Atlantean would be necessarily much better. Something like even Medit, for example, would be cool. Maybe something like Anatolia could be a bit funnier. There's gonna be some better chance on the gold control, of course, by Atlantean at that point. But yeah, well, you'll have to wait and see. On the other hand, you have the Underworld Passage, for example, there. But probably in the one once you'll be a bit more tempted to go for Aphrodite. So there is definitely use for Underworld Passage on Anatolia. Thea and Shaft Mine, blow in them. Bit surprised actually that Grassengroom is in the end still a bit faster, because a moment ago we have seen actually Momo being almost there on the resources, so currently has really expanded quite a lot. He's kind of like aiming to be having... Oh, the pop limit on 3 TCs is obviously not the cheapest. Okay, that's gonna be a very good trade. That was a decent... I can understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to actually get into the Manor, but frankly, that wouldn't be actually too much good idea anyway, as there are just way too many Hoplites. And while they don't have the Zeus bonus still, that Manor would have been falling fairly quickly. But at least a bit of help was definitely had by shockwaving around here. And still, there's gonna be at least the Aphrodite finally clicked, but it will be taking a bit longer before he can reduce the enemy armies by at least a few units and have some kind of maybe interesting fight. Or a more interesting fight in general. Okay, medium Romelos. Otherwise nothing further. Medium Hoplites are gonna be also without any further upgrades so far. I'm just waiting for something like... at this point, if you're getting into Heroic Age, probably Aegis Shield, because you're gonna be of course getting some Archy coming up. And yeah, I just need to be also coming forward as well finally, as it's gonna be time where the Hoplites are gonna be becoming a bit obsolete, exactly because of the archers that we are going to be expecting soon to come from the Atlantean. Copper shields, actually fairly quickly. He's already thinking about it, and that seemed like a bit of a fast restoration that was necessary, frankly. That maybe could have been coming a bit later, but whatever the case, right now, no, please don't cast it now. That needs to be waiting for an actual engagement. And you can see right now the Hiran on the left side, sniping at least the Stymphalian, but looks like that also we're gonna be getting rid of that one citizen. That was definitely living dangerously in there for a moment. Was that relic? Fetters of Fenrir. No, that's still kinda cool for the Atlantean, to be honest, to be taken. No, and this was excellent curse. While we didn't entirely get all that many animals, he got, or the animals piggies, 3-6 approximately, if I see it correctly. Then much more important part of 7 here, they took mostly actually the Murmilos in the front. So therefore he was basically stuck, and he is stuck right now with Turmas, which at this point do basically nothing. So that was quite a bit excellent casting of the curse, and that's what you want to be doing. Instead of just casting it into the middle of the enemy army, I think he cast it a bit more in the front, so that exactly he'll be purposefully taking the Murmilos. which are the bigger threat units at this point for him. So, well done. Well done, that was a decent result, but unfortunately still, he doesn't have effectively any siege weapons, so fighting next to the palace was always going to be a bit futile. Just an oracle. Waiting for Undeveloped Passage, aka Tartarian Gate. You can see it now, there's a Hecate coming up. But also Artemis is prepared already from Momo. Momo is gonna be also already in there. Okay, heavy hoplites with still the copper shields, otherwise for the opponent we are going to be also without any kind of upgrades whatsoever. Tartarian Gate of course cast through top side as we mentioned, that it is most probably going to be, which is Disrupting Echo, okay. It's just a bit of a, like an empty spot here, to be honest. Would have liked maybe better casting, possibly next to this TC, so that he can be also somewhat doubling with an extra attack. So I'm thinking that would be maybe a bit more reasonable, just to be having like a double-pronged push for the TC, because it would be making somewhat good sense. Blocking the gold mine, even though it's almost out, like in the double mining camp by the way. So to the right side, he's at this point actually set up still with some cranes, and everything going somewhat decently, and the earthquake should be coming into the middle here, blocking and destroying the palace and also the TC. No, he's casting it onto the palace here, because he's trying to destroy the top one, but unfortunately that one is gonna be taking a bit longer still. TC is gonna be still at least gone, so that's the important part. And this one, 1300 hit points, but it's not really in any kind of relevant position. So frankly, I'm thinking this was a decent result. Just needs to be at this point getting into the spot as soon as possible. Grassengroom not having food currently for the TC, that kinda sucks. That kind of success. How about actually taking one of the Hippicons with the Lampades? That would be nice, I guess. As you can see, he's gonna be trying to chase the villages all the way through right. Oh, she's gonna get murdered. Yeah, she's right now finding herself in quite a bit of a tough spot. Belt of Argus, nobody took it. But there wasn't much raiding in the end. So it wasn't entirely that important, I imagine. But all the way to the top, he have apparently destroyed the temple, which is gonna be meaning at this point nothing too significantly important, frankly. As the villages right now are gonna be already on pop limit. No, and the town center, it will be certainly needing some fortress from Momo, so that he can block it. I can see some of the resources for that, even the favor is there. So please give me the fortress somewhere. We'll be both also helping right now getting rid of the Tartarian Gate, but much more importantly keeping the enemy TC down. This is actually becoming quite an issue. Decided to go back into the village. No, I don't know if he actually decided to go back. Maybe he actually lost them, and he just had to be making a new one. Like a kind of like new group of farmers in there. Not really certain. And right now he's really suffering from the fact he doesn't have siege. Currently he can even replace it with simply Gastrafetes, getting at least a few of them. You don't need to be too many. You need like 3 Gastrafetes, and it's already gonna be somewhat of a legit siege. Legit siege weapon. Because you don't want to be having too many, obviously the 3 pop limit is still kinda stupid. And it to be somewhat blocking you, but nonetheless. It is definitely one of the variants, and right now this is a great opportunity for Grassengroom, of course, to push. Obviously he's gonna be seeing all of it, so please, let's go forward. But again, no siege weapons. You can see there's the Siphon only now coming up. Promelos Championat just right now for Momo. Military wise empty. And there is finally going to be, on the further, the former gold vein, we're gonna be recuperating the grounds here with 2nd level of upgrades onto the economy. Whereas for the Atlantean, we are looking at almost the same, just missing the bowsaw. Heavy archers. And trouble. Well, thank you for the raid. So it seems like therefore you have already finished with your with the games that you were streaming, or maybe just kind of like, oh well, if you are still in the tournament, you have to be doing Age of Empires 4, right? The Golden League. So if you are still in, then good luck. Then good luck in that at that point. And Nechir van Barzani, I guess it's gonna be a Nechir or Nechir, probably Nechir van Barzani. Thank you for the follow. In general, we are of course going to be at 2-minute delay, so well, we are having competitive games, so that's how it is. No, but there are gonna be probably some further games from the Shelty's one-day tournament still going on. So maybe there are gonna be Nino still streaming his match against Shelty, and potentially even something more could be up in there. Can see it button double copper here. Whereas for the opponent, we are gonna be looking at almost straight nothing in there. Champion Infi Kuberi right now. He needs to be really kind of like adding up some military upgrades, because at this point it's nice to be seeing the echo going up. But unfortunately he's gonna be soon getting pushed because of lack of any kind of counter to the enemy archers effectively. You can see currently it's gonna be... I do agree with Ragnarok's. That Tartarian Gate was definitely not the best cast that we have seen. I could have definitely imagined some better places for that. And that positioning should have been slightly better. But whatever the case, yeah, gonna be at this point therefore seeing already quite a solid push by Momo. And frankly, it doesn't seem to me that Grassengroom is all that well set up to be able to hold it. Again, he just doesn't have any military upgrades. He's just gonna get rolled because of that. He's not gonna be able to withstand the powerful Greek units. Can see he's also missing 45 TC. Further 15 population limit. He's gonna be having less at this point. Well. Not entirely looking too great, to be honest. As the gold mine is still... no, kinda running out. Already gonna be having to think about the front one. You can see scamping it, just kinda checking out if it's gonna be available for the opponent. He still does have plenty. There was a shockwave. There was a shockwave at 21 minutes actually of game time. With otherwise just having potentially further Hesperate trees for one more potential casting, I guess, for the Dryads, but it's not entirely gonna be too relevant. And yeah, right now, of course, with the extra pop limit that he has, he can be easily affording to be having some extra Helepoli, and yeah, just nothing too much done to be done at this point for Grassengroom. Then to hope that the next game is gonna be going a bit better, because right about now, Momo, he was having first excellent map for himself, and second, he was able to utilize it pretty damn great as well. So there we go, that's gonna be the GG at 22 minutes, the longest game so far, as we somewhat expected based on the matchup, and Momo is gonna be the one to go into a lead in the winners bracket semifinals of the strongest 1v1 one-day tournament by Shelty. Otherwise, Shelty with Nino still playing in Nino's POV, he is streaming it, so you can therefore go there. Otherwise, it looks like therefore Super has also right now advanced already through into some next part. Match 12. He's waiting, actually Super is at this point waiting for the loser of Nino and Shelty, I guess. Redokvoth are still to play. Or maybe they are playing, I'm not sure. What's going on in there? Not sure if Redo is even properly in. But nonetheless, you're gonna be therefore heading into the next game also soon. So that we don't delay, let's therefore jump into the post game and get therefore done with this match. Can see economically 1,000 for... so like 3,500 maybe. Oh, wait a second, what? 4 or 5? 4,500, maybe 5,000 resources more for Momo in the end. That's to be expected by this stage, and also the nice 2 TC early. You can say now the army somewhat similar, but the results definitely weren't the same. Yeah, he was therefore on the Tartarian Gate losing the villages. He was rebuilding them. He wasn't actually falling back with those. So that was some serious damage into the Echo, at least through the Tartarian Gate, but even that wasn't enough. GG.